And now we're going to see if they can actually fit another one under their belt here in the EU Playoffs 4 Contenders live at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. We're going to be heading into, you can hear the crowd behind us, they're going crazy. The energy is ecstatic here. And we're going to be kicking it off here on the city center of Oasis. The team's coming out with some very standard stuff so far, just typical dive, the Tracer Genji. No surprises so far, ZP.
They're a matchup across the board here for St. Misfits. How they engage the setup here, it's going to be C9. We know they're the more aggressive team. They dive right in. Malzasa, though, taken down, but not before he's ganked that first support kill. 5-on-5 to start this out here, Bren, and now Misfits begin the counter dive.
Yeah, this is it. Now they're going to be focused down Grey. They do get another critical kill there onto the Zenyatta, but again, trading out for Swoosh. All these players just falling on either side. Very even fight for the time being. Tvik goes for the dive in as well. They want to be trying to bring down Nevix, but unfortunately, Tvik ends up going down. Now, they're going to be in the danger zone. Misfits have to try and disengage, but it looks like Cloud9 are the ones who are coming out on top here. The team, the underdogs in this matchup. Cloud9, the 4th seed in the EU side of Contenders, beating out Misfits in this initial fight.
And remember what the desk brought up. If Cloud9 is going to have a chance of upsetting the series, control is where they need to make their stand. It's the first map, but it's very important for them. So now, take a look at Logix. This has been the playmaker here for Cloud9, Bren, where he gets early pickoffs, he gets Misfits fights that they shouldn't otherwise get, and now he's on the hunt, looking for that early pulse bomb. There it is, doesn't stick. It does. Grey's out of the fight.
That's an excellent pick initially. Straight off the bat, they bring down Grey, taking him out of the fight. That's no more Discord orbs for them. And Cloud9, they want to double down. Neptuno ends up committing his soundbar to try and take this fight. They get 2 more picks apiece. Manaton, though, brings down Malzaza. Now Misfits have to make a decision, you know, try and focus down these backlines. Space, maybe biting off a little bit more than he could chew there, will be going down, but Nevix is still about, and he's holding on to this Dragon Blade. The point gets flipped here, ZP. Cloud9 forced to back off and reset for a little bit. And
for Nevix, even though he had the blade up, he didn't want to use it there. There are too many members dead. He wants to wait for the reset. But now, the reset is underway. Cloud9, they're reestablishing. Malzasa's got the primal rage to distract. And when he goes in, Nevix will be behind him. The barrier, though, comes in early for Misfits. They're trying to take the initiative.
Straight away, Grey goes down again. Another great pick for them. Tvik using the Dragon Blade will get the D-Mech onto space, along with the kill with the help of his team. Misfits are going to be in control of this initial checkpoint for the time being. They're going to be ticking up the percentage as well, but a very close match so far. And Cloud9 have now built up a couple of ultimates. Logix is still just in their spawn, bringing down Neptuno, just buying more and more time for them.
There is one thing to note here for Misfits. They used both Transcendence and Sound Barrier in the last fight. Now, Cloud9, with the Transcendence of their own and a Dragon Blade, they're going to have a real opportunity to flip this back. This is a fight, Bren, that they must win. If Misfits is somehow able to take this, despite the odds against them, that would very likely give them the round. So, for Cloud9, we have to pay attention to the engage, and now they dive in.
It's all going to be on Nevix right now. Finds 1 kill onto Zebasai, searching for the second. Meanwhile, Malzaza, using his primal rage in the back lines, brings down Zupe. They've immediately found 2 excellent picks. Logix, though, trying to equalize it. Manaton ends up committing his self-destruct. Does manage to find a kill onto Malzaza. This could be turnable for Misfits right now. However, Mikey A strikes back with the pulse bomb. Swoosh is finished. A nice quick little shuriken there by Nevix is going to bring down to make a follow-up onto Zebasai, hitting headshots for days. He's going for Logix now. He wants more on Cloud9, not giving this up without a fight.
And here's the thing for Cloud9. Though they were able to retake the point in a fight that they absolutely had to win, Misfits still delayed that out, where they got about another extra 15% because of the delay that Logix was able to do here. Now, you take a look at Cloud9. What is going to matter here, Bren, is the sound barrier. They need to barrier and get a good engage. And now Nevix going to the back line. We got to watch Neptuno and see how he engages this.
We saw the self-destruct came out pretty early on, but Misfits immediately, they found 3, picks up the bag, and it's Grey sitting at the high ground, unfortunately just not finding the shots that he was looking for there. And Misfits, with the overwhelming damage right now, they've cleaned up absolutely everyone. They are going to be able to flip this point back into their favor. 81% now, counting up. We're getting into the final stage of this first round here, ZP. It's going to be the final fight kicking off any moment now.
And that was a huge disaster for Space, where he went for the self-destruct, but was caught out before he could get back into his mech. However, one good part here for Cloud9. They do have the barrier back up, but now they're just going to have to go in. They dive in quickly, but Zupe with the Transcendence Misfits, they engage first.
Oh, we're going to see the Dragon Blade used by Tvik there was met with the sound barrier from Neptuno. Cloud9 now looking to strike back. We see Nevix with the blade, moves into the back. Zebasai goes down, but of course, Zupe ends up winning the 1v1 against him into the back. Now it's overtime. Misfits desperately trying to hold on to this one. They found the initial pick, looking for more. Both teams playing incredibly passive, but now the ults are coming online. Swoosh ends up using his Primal Rage, just trying to stall this one out. Transcendence by Grey just to keep his team alive. See the self-destruct also going to be used in the meanwhile.
And that could be a finishing sound barrier here from Misfits. Misfits now rolling in off the barrier. They're down one, but still going to C9. But C9, they're able to back out and disengage. Now Mozas is in. The Primal Rage disrupting the self-destruct into the back, moving Misfits, forcing them off the point. And are they going to be retaking this, Bren? They're very close indeed.
Very close indeed. Maniton ends up getting D-Mech brought down. Tvik now moves over to the Doomfist. A last-ditch effort to try and flip it in their favor, but it's not good enough. Cloud9 end up striking back. 80% and counting now. This is most definitely going to be the final fight kicking off, but that's the danger of City Center. In terms of Oasis, it's so easy to just stall it out, keep a player on the point, keep it ticking over. But now we're going to see Misfits. It's do or die time for them. They want to try and bring this one back. But Logix goes down to Mikey A with the help of the Discord Orb. That could be huge.
That is huge. Logix is the playmaker for Misfits. He's been neutralized. Cloud9 has an ultimate advantage. They have both Barrier and Transcendence on the way up. Neptuno, he could use it right now, and yes, Cloud9's going to break it down. A one-man advantage. Misfits against the wall, and Cloud9 just a few picks away from taking this first round.
Support ults used all over the place. Post bomb comes out by Mikey A, but actually gets ate up by the defense matrix, but still, Cloud9 are finding all the picks now. Nevix using his tactical visor, trying to clean up, trying to get this first round away from Misfits. They're finding the kills. Can they clean up with the rest of it? The overtime so dangerously low, and there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the first round of Oasis is going to be going to Cloud9.
Bren, there's two things I want to bring up here. One was, remember the fight in the middle of the game where Misfits used Barrier, Blade, and Transcendence? They did need to use all of those for that fight, and that small difference in ultimate economy actually paved a way for Cloud9 to get back in. The second part was that what we saw coming out there from Mikey, to be able to check Logix, a Tracer who had indisputably the best stats throughout all of the regular season, that's really big for Cloud9 if they can keep that up going forward.
A big sort of, I guess, factor coming into that first initial round was Mikey A on that Tracer role. He was moving around the map. He was playing that roaming, that supportive Tracer role that it's a bit of an unusual playstyle. Not many Tracers tend to play it, but he supports his team with the pulse bombs, and yes, he doesn't get the big kills like Logix might, but still, he supports them, he finds the picks, and it's those entries that make it work. And now, we're going to see a bit of a switch up here. Tvik is going to be on that fire, and you can immediately see the power coming into this. Cloud9, not quite prepared enough for it. They immediately lose their main tank, Mozaza.
And that's the way you deal with Cloud9, is that they have really aggressive dives, but if you can focus Mozasa early on, you can neutralize a lot of their zone control. And Misfits, with this aerial play where Tvik is in the air and well protected, they're creating a bunch of barriers here that Cloud9 has to jump through. And in fact, they're not even able to contest this first point in the beginning. Misfits with the first control.
This is the perfect stage right now for running the fire. She's so incredibly potent, and as you can see, already the focus fire, they're not even running a Mercy in conjunction with this composition, and yet still, the Discord Orbs is all Tvik needs to get these kills in them. And now we're going to see a bit of a turnaround. They are going to be moving in with a couple of ults, but Grey ends up winning a 1v1 against Logix. Grey picking up 2 kills. He could potentially turn this round now for Cloud9.
And that's why Grey is the X factor that the desk was talking about. The ability to just come out of nowhere, get those pickoffs, and now Misfits, they're in a bit of a bind. Do they invest support ultimates here? They do. The Transcendence is out, but Maniton is already demeched. And Cloud9, they can fight power for power as Tvik is sniped out of the sky.
Misfits are committing absolutely everything on this. The sound barrier was used on top of it, and still, they end up losing this team fight. Mikey A is popping off all over the goddamn place. Discord Orbs from Grey completely helping them out here. The Primal Rage from Malzaza cleaning up as well. This will be a flip for Cloud9 as they take the point away from Misfits.
Cloud9, they're looking good. However, Misfits, they don't come away with nothing there, Bren. Their early strike, the early control that they got from the Pharah has given them 50%. They have time to bring this back. Cloud9 now is going to have to win at least one disadvantaged fight if they want to take this round. But Misfits, they're approaching again, Bren. Coming up the left side, and they're going to leap right in.
Rotating around, Tvik Vic, he's caught with his trousers down, lad. What are you doing there? Ulting into the sky, and the boop off as well. Neptuno brings down Swoosh immediately when he popped off the Primal Rage. These are critical kills for Cloud9 because they just completely wasted Misfits' ultimates right now, and they're sitting in such a good position to take this further.
Neptuno was the real hero there to boop off Winston in that situation when he had Primal Rage. That's a case where Winston is very hard to take out. It's big, and now Misfits, they're just staggering deaths right now. They really should have disengaged a little bit earlier, and Cloud9, they have officially evened this out.
Vic just trying to farm up that Dragon Blade, and look at this now, 50% and counting. Cloud9, they've got the sound barrier. Mikey A's holding onto that pulse bomb. Nevik so close to it, and now they want to engage very aggressively. Cloud9 using that sound barrier to get as much space as they possibly can. They bring down Zebasai, they force out the Transcendence from Zupe, and Misfits, again, they want to try and commit to this. They're going to be doubling down with these ultimates, seeing if they can find a kill or two. They do manage to bring down Marzaza, they get the teammate as well, so not the end of the world for them, but Mikey A, he equalizes it up, and now we see the ults being used. Gray uses the Transcendence to take this fight further, but right now a very equal engagement, ZP.
It's very equal, and Nevik was able to neutralize Logix early on. He had his sights the entire time. Now, the tack visor is out, looking for a little bit more. Gonna carve Manitin right out of that mech, and Cloud9, one team fight away from taking this first map.
Unbelievable performance so far from Cloud9. Everyone across the board in the Analysts, they predicted that this was going to be a close game between them, but it was going to be Misfits' game to win. And Cloud9 have just turned up, they've shown up, and we know from their previous performances they need to win these control maps to have a good chance. But now it's do or die time. The overtime is coming down. Misfits trying to move into this fight now, desperately trying to stay onto the point, but Marzaza, he brings down to Vic. Now the beat's going to be dropped by Misfits, looking to take it even further. They find 2 kills off the back of it here, ZP. They could be trying to win this one out right here, right now.
They got both supports down. There's no more healing in the backline, but Mikey A fighting it back. The Pulse Bomb taking down both Manitin and Logix. Mikey A on a rampage right now, moving his way through. Michael Adams, is he going to save this for Cloud9? They're so close, Bren.
I don't believe this to Vic. He has to go huge with this Dragon Blade, but unfortunately, he's a wolf. Oh my goodness, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Cloud9 are going to be winning map number 1 against Misfits, the favorites in the EU side of Contenders here. I'm honestly shocked. Cloud9, you know, we've mentioned it time and time again, historically, they need to win these control maps to have a good chance of winning an entire series out, and they've got their win condition right here, ZP. They've managed to secure it.
If Cloud9 did not take this control map, any path to victory was going to be just wrought with situations that Misfits really was favored in. However, now, Cloud9, they have a chance. And more importantly, we talked about some of the storylines beforehand. The idea that Mikey A could come in much stronger in a live environment than we've seen him online. And that was impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Not only was he cleaving through the opposition there at the end, but he was checking Logix throughout most of that game.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, it's that LAN environment, that live environment, the crowd, it pumps him up. He plays so much better right now, but it's not just the Mikey A show. Cloud9 as a whole, Gray, a fantastic support. His Zenyatta play, time and time again, the Discord Orbs, the precision on them to find the picks that they needed. They dove around the map. They picked apart Misfits. And coming into this, they had a game plan. You know, when we were interviewing against teams that were playing against Misfits, Cloud9 said they're going to be focusing down Logix. They're going to be trying to bring him down and see where it goes, focusing all their resources to try and bring that one man down, because he is paramount in Misfits' game plan. They do revolve around Logix as a player.
All right, Bren, well, it is very clear. We have ourselves a series. Disregard the regular season. It's playoffs time. But guys, we're going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, map 2 will be underway.
Back in the fight.
battle already. It's Cloud9 stealing the control map, and that means Misfits is choosing where we're going for our hybrid battle. Is it Numbani, Eichenwald, or will they choose the new map Hollywood in the rotation? CP Bren, where are we headed?
We are headed to the Grand Castle known as Eichenwald, where Misfits is hoping that it'll be a little bit more amenable to them, Bren.
Yeah, it's going to be their map pick. Misfits in the past have performed very well on Eichenwald. It's a map that you can employ a lot of strategy. Misfits are a team that's known for that. And throughout the various stages, the streets phase, you know, so on and so forth, throughout this entire stage, you can run tanks, you can run traditional Ryan compositions, you can even run the dive. Misfits, I imagine they're most likely going to be sticking with the tried and tested, what they know and love. But this is also an opportunity for Cloud9 to prove that they are going to be able to, you know, capable of taking away this series. They've already shown up by taking Oasis. You know, the first map, you know, everyone on the analyst desk was predicting here, ZP, that Misfits are going to be taking this overwhelmingly. 3-0s pretty much across the board. I know Sideshow was definitely wrong in this regard almost immediately. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Misfits to come back from that sort of mental loss.
Don't let anyone fool you. The Brits here, they do love each other, even though they will continually call each other out. But it is interesting where Misfits, of course, they were the overwhelming favorite coming in here, but we knew there was the potential of Cloud9 making this closer than we might have expected. However, everything you were mentioning here about Eichenwald, the idea that there's multiple different compositions that can work. Misfits is an incredibly versatile team. It's a team full of veterans. It's a team that's been together for a long time. Yeah. This would, in theory, play into their hand compared to a team like Cloud9, where when we talked to them, they mentioned to us that it was difficult for them to really work on complex strategies for hybrid maps because of all the roster shuffles that they had earlier in the season. Misfits has never had to deal with that handicap.
Exactly. Misfits have remained a sort of stable team for quite some time now, and they've rebuilt this roster up. They've, you know, made it to the playoffs, this #1 seed coming into this. It's been a while since we've seen a Misfits this sort of strong at this point in time. And they are capable of running these different compositions. You can see they are teasing us right now with the Reinhardt, with the Zarya. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Junkrat patch. This is where he's got those 2 mines, 120 damage apiece. Absolutely wonderful. We've seen teams like Envious run this even before Junkrat was even buffed, because right now it is a strong composition. You can see straight off the bat, Logix ends up going down to a nasty little trap there.
Well, the focus fire on Logix continues, but that was a bit of a coincidence. Logix just not watching his step. However, these 2 early pickoffs coming in from Cloud9 have delayed Misfits quite a bit here, where Misfits, they're going to have to wait, reset, and spend a little bit more time. So any bit of time you get here on a first point hybrid map is very good.
Yeah, they're really just stalling them out for the time being. We're going to see a bit of a rotation now. Cloud9 just poking, prodding, looking for these weaknesses, and now you can see they're looking to try and engage. They send out a couple of the mines to Vic into the back lines. Be laying out the damage, seeing what he can do. So we're going to see as well. Nevix though and Mikey A, they answer back again, finding these critical kills. Cloud9 looking very good so far. And now we're going to see as well the Riptire built up for Nevix. He's going to be making plays happen all over the place with that.
And don't forget, this is the map choice for Misfits. They thought that this is a case where their Junkrat play would be able to bring them in over the top. But in this case, Cloud9 has just been holding back, letting Misfits come in through the choke, and letting Nevix do work. And speaking of work, Bren, here comes the tire. Parkour in over the top.
Riptire coming in straight onto Zuppe's head, brings him down. A critical pick once again. We're going to see these mines, look how great they are, just basically denying them from getting any entry here onto the point. They're going to be sending out the spam as much as they possibly can, and still Cloud9, they're holding on to this. Misfits do not really have an opening so far, but they do have that Riptire to Vic. He's going to be waiting for the opportunity. He's going to be using it now, seeing if he can get a pick, sending it over. Be going for a little bit of a parkour ride, just wall riding as much as he possibly can, dodging, juking, looking for the opportunity, sends it in, brings down Neptuno. That could be the pick the Misfits now are looking for.
Long journey for Tavik, but he runs over his target. Now Misfits, this is their opportunity. They open with the barrier, don't get too much early on, but it's enough to push C9 back, and now the attrition is taking hold. They don't have to invest in Transcendence here, and they will get this payload moving forward.
There you have it. Misfits, they do win it in the end of that 1 pick onto Neptuno. They're going to be able to cap this first checkpoint up relatively simply. And we do see a few ults online, but we're just going to see a quick pause once again as we get into this. Oh, there we go. Okay, it was a very quick pause indeed. I wasn't lying this time. But
it was quite literally a quick pause. You don't get much quicker than that, Bren.
But we see a change-up in composition here for Cloud9. So Gray has now moved over to the Sombra. Again, another point that the analyst desk was making time and time again is how potent he is on that hero, on that role. And you can run it on Iconfall. This is one map where you can run these multiple compositions. But we see now, Graviton Surge sent out. He's been met with the Transcendence to Vic. Ends up getting a kill onto Neptuno, instead trading out. And nothing really gained from that Graviton Surge from Cloud9.
In space, I don't think he realized the rest of the team was not ready to follow that through, but that's a very big win now for Misfits, where Cloud9 have thrown the Graviton into the ether. Doesn't help them win a team fight. Space, of course, he is swapping, so I think that might have been why he was a little bit more fast and loose with the Graviton. However, Misfits is in a very good spot here, and now this tire could just run over Cloud9's chances, and it does get the DMAC right away.
Yeah, and that's actually huge enough. I mean, you don't really need kills at the end of the day. A DMAC is actually very big. In fact, just removing that defense matrix from your team and stopping that from really getting in the way of all the damage you're doing can be big enough in the end. And you can see Misfits committing a few ultimates here and there. Primal Rage used by Swoosh does find another kill down to Nevix, but this cart, ZP, is not stopped here in the streets phase. It's moving so far forward. And Cloud9, they lose Gray just when he was about to get an EMP, and that is going to be vital for Misfits to take this one.
Great swap to Sombra here for the second point, but the reason was that EMP. Now it's not an option. Mikey A out of the fight immediately. No heroics from him here this time, and Misfits looking like a different team on the second point. Just rolling right over Cloud9. Not a whole lot of resistance coming in. And Misfits, they're going to break down this castle's door.
It's going to be once again another one team fight for them, as they are going to be running it forward. 4 minutes on the clock. That's what Misfits have got to work with here. And they've even got a few ults to boot now. 2 defensive support ults on Misfits. They've got the Transcendence coming up in just 5%. Zebasai sitting on that sound barrier. And now the question is, can Cloud9 time this EMP correctly? Can Misfits time their sound barrier correctly as well as they're moving this in? But Cloud9, they've got to move in. Gray ends up committing the EMP early on. But now they come in. Supe's positioning was perfect. Moves into the backlines with the Transcendence to keep them alive.
It was perfect when he was so far back that, and Swoosh was so far forward that Swoosh wasn't hit by it. So in the end, it still might very well be a win here for Cloud9. Misfits, they're trading out evenly. But here's the thing, Bren. As you go into this final point, you need more than even. You need dominant.
Yeah.
This is still not bad for the Cloud9 defense, so long as they can get 1 or 2 more pickoffs.
That's still just putting up a decent fight. The cart's still moving forward. The players are getting picked off all over the place. Mikey A ends up getting at least a post bomb onto Swoosh into the back lines, brings him down, so now Cloud9 can stabilize. And now we see Misfits just disengaging just a little bit. Don't want to be overstepping their bounds in this final checkpoint, because you are right, ZP. Again, just to mention you, with this final point of Iconfold, it's essential that you do get this clean sweep of players to really push this forward, because the defenders, they've got that spawn advantage with Victory sensing the tire.
The tire is out, will stop the blade. And no, it takes down Gray. Nevix, the blade's still very much in play. Able to get Zupe into the back. Swoosh responding with the Primal Rage, but he's stuck in a corner right now. And yet, it's a corner of doom. Finds Nevix. And this might actually work out for Misfits.
I think I'm watching a scene from Watchmen right now. Just seeing them just absolutely battering them, trapping them in. Misfits pushing this one forward. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. That's what they've got. They need to contest this. Cloud9 moving into the back. Gray very close to this EMP once again. See, Malzaza moves in, trying to delay it. They need to get onto this point. They can't leave it. Now the Graviton Surge. Do they have the damage? Space just lays it into them right now with the help of the Discord Orbs from Nevix, who's actually swapped over to the Zenyatta for this final checkpoint. And now we're going to see them. They are going to be able to stabilize here against Misfits.
And this is interesting because you don't see this as often, especially in the West, where you would run both 2 supports and a Sombra. Generally, you sacrifice a support to run the Sombra. This means that Cloud9 is really going to rely on Mikey to do the bulk of the damage. However, Mikey, he's in the back right now. Pulse Bomb ready, not going to be needed as Gray, off the EMP, really set the stage.
Very aggressive EMP. He moves straight into the back, picked up 3 kills with the help of, once again, Nevix's Discord Orbs. And this is such a strange composition by Cloud9, the fact that they're running this sort of double support with the Sombra. We're going to see a quick replay of what Gray was doing here. And again, to anyone unfamiliar at home, when the EMP connects onto a Zenyatta, it brings him down to 50 HP. It removes all of those shields. So if you catch a Zenyatta player off guard of that, it can be absolutely detrimental.
All right, and Gray right now not stopping with the Discord Orb. Got Logics there early on, and Misfits just struggling for a way to get through this castle door, let alone pushing the payload. The pressure from Cloud9 after resetting here has been profound, and they would have to invest too much into this fight even to throw Misfits back and stagger them even more.
This is really good from Cloud9. They're using the sort of composition they're running, and they're not really letting down on the aggression. This forward hold that they're doing has worked out so well that they've actually brought it down. Now Misfits only have 50 seconds to make this final push, but this might just be the final push of the game because they're starting to build it up. Manaton very close to the Graviton Surge. So is Space, however. We're going to see the Riptide by Tavik. Doesn't get anything because of the damage mitigation. In fact, it's going to be Misfits again losing these players.
And Misfits, they are down to their final 30 seconds. Cloud9 off a big play from Mikey there towards the end. They're going to clean up the Misfits. Now, Bren, it comes down to the final push and final attempt. But Misfits, they do have one trump card. Manaton's Graviton Surge is going to be paramount. How he lands this, who he gets in it, and if Misfits has a clean up right after, that's going to be big, and now Manaton goes in.
Straight away, the long-range Graviton Surge into the back. Manaton, the pulse bomb by Logix, lays it down. There's a bit of a small bang combo kicking off as they do get the 2 entry picks, but Gray moves in with the EMP as well. However, Logix still just absolutely causing all sorts of chaos into the back lines, and this will be the fight one for Misfits. The overtime, however, is in effect, and Cloud9 are starting to get the respawns here, ZP. Right now, we're going to be seeing the final fight of this first stage.
And this is where C9 needs something from Mikey here once more. We'll see what Mikey can do here. The Pulse Bomb is up. Diving into the backline, Pulse Bomb out, does not get the early kill. However, C9 is swarming. Tavik out of the fight to begin with, and Misfits, they double down. They're in overtime, They have no choice, and Logix coming in big off the barrier. It's a 4K for Logix, Bren, and they might push this through.
So many kills off the back of it, and that is the Logix effect, ladies and gentlemen. Misfits are going to be able to complete out Eichenwald. They get 3 checkpoints, waving around in the crowd. This crowd is fantastic, by the way. Just a quick shout out to these guys turning up early morning here for some fantastic Overwatch. We're watching the EU Contenders live.
All right, so if you think about the defense there from Cloud9, that still wasn't bad. Even though it's true that you don't always see teams complete Eichenwald, they were able to drain every last second off the clock. This means that their victory conditions get a little bit more diverse, where if they could breach the castle and finish it out with 1 minute and 1 second left, you wouldn't see another attack here from Misfits. So Cloud9, they've done enough here, I would say.
Yeah, they definitely stalled it out to a good degree, but it's not uncommon for teams to get full health before this third checkpoint. That's going to be the real question mark in my mind, is are Cloud9 going to be able to come back from this now? Remember, this was Misfits' map pick. This is the reason they're so dominant here, is the fact that they are very strong in this map. As you can see, many times before, the only checkpoint they really got held up on was this final third checkpoint that they couldn't quite push it into because of the aggressive forward hold by Cloud9. That was what really caught them off guard. But as we're going to be heading back into it, the roles are reversed. We're going to see Cloud9 now on the attack. We'll see what they can do against Misfits.
And for C9, of course, the only path to victory here is to finish out the map and bring this in the extra rounds. But to the point you were talking about for Eichenwald, it's not uncommon to see first point holds. It's not uncommon to see second point holds, where it's arguably the most interesting second point in the game for a hybrid map, where there's so many ways for a defense to approach it, so many ways for an offense to approach it, whether you use the high ground, go up the gut, or otherwise. However, Bren, this Misfits defense will be relying on Tavik's Junkrat once more.
We've seen how powerful the Junkrat is, time and time again, but Tavik going to be running that role. In fact, Misfits as well going to be keeping with a sort of a 2-2-2 composition again with the Winston, with the Diva. They got Logix on that Soldier 76, and now Cloud9 going to start to roll out, seeing they can get some damage done into them. Cloud9 going to be running with just the Genji Tracer dive composition again, looking for opportunities, trying to focus down these targets. You can see just poking and prodding for the time being, looking to see if they can find a weakness to exploit. Gray is laying in his damage, and it's a bit of a dangerous situation for Misfits because you can get very much caught off guard by Zenyatta just charging up his orbs across the map.
And you see Swoosh starting to take a lot of damage. He's down the half, he has to back up, but Mikey is out of the fight early. Tried the charge to Vic and got punished. This means Misfits can be a little bit more aggressive here. They have the man advantage. Swoosh still low, getting healed up in the back, and while this is going on, Cloud9 is losing player after player. This should be a successful hold for Misfits.
Yeah, Mozaza is just having a bit of an adventure in the back lines. He's just running all over the place. But Misfits are going to be able to defend this one with the help. Tavik was incredibly low throughout that team fight, and Cloud9 thought they could double down and commit onto him to bring him down and try and turn that fight around. Unfortunately, didn't work out in their favor. Now Misfits, they burnt off about a minute onto the clock here. Cloud9 now with about 3 minutes remaining. That's all they've got to try and capture this first checkpoint now. And then we're going to make some switches here, Zeta. So Nevic's moving over to the Pharah just to sort of counteract the Junkrat. Not really too much anti-air capabilities on the side of Misfits.
Now that we've said that, we've cursed him to be hit by a concussion mine straight out of the air. But for now, Nevix definitely has a lot of room, doesn't have to worry about Tvik quite as much. And we'll see what he does here with the space that has been created. Moving over to the top, Mausasa is in. However, the tire is out, takes Mausasa out, removes that pressure, and again, Misfits is free to push back into Cloud9.
Yeah, Misfits, again, going to be just committing that sound barrier on top of that team fight just to really seal the deal. And Cloud9 forced to, again, reset off the back of it. They lose another minute of their time bank to try and push this one in. Misfits happily just able to defend this one. And they've still got Zupe with his Transcendence as well. They're not in a particularly bad position. Swoosh also has almost built up his Primal Rage, so he can do a lot of delaying with that ultimate ability. Cloud9, however, they are going to be moving in now with 2 support ultimates against Misfits 1. So this is a big opportunity for them to really take this point away from them.
All right, Cloud9 moving in. They have to utilize both support ultimates if they want a chance of taking this. Gray under pressure, has to transcend early. Neptuno waiting in the wings with his barrier. It's going to be a Transcendence for Transcendence save, but Logic's out of the fight early. Pulse bomb before he can visor. C9 commits the sound barrier, and now we'll see if they can finish this out. They have a man advantage, and they have pushed Misfits back, and it's looking like it might indeed be enough.
Oh, Misfits going to be recommitting into this fight right now. They use the self-destruct to try and create a bit of space, but they've already lost 3 members of their team. Manaton still is going to get back into his suit to try and buy as much time as he possibly can. And now we're going to see Logix come back in with the tactical visor. Nevix unfortunately had no cover, will get brought down, but Mikey A finally equalizes it. And this is looking very good for Cloud9. They're going to be able to take this. The few players of Misfits just straggling in right now. Switch doesn't have an ultimate to try and delay this one. In fact, the Discord Orb is going to be laid into him. And again, that damage from Cloud9 just pumping into them. And they should be able to take this without any troubles.
One thing that was worth noting is that Logix was on the 76 for that first point. Now he's going back to his bread and butter and Tracer, where the 76 isn't bad, and they played it for compositional reasons with just sight lines on Eichenwald first. But now as you get into second, this can be a Tracer's playground with all the different nooks and crannies that you can approach from. All the ways to get harassment, get out safe. But now, here comes the tire.
Vic's going to be looking for opportunities with this tire. Sends it in. Nevik spies with 9 HP. He's going to get healed up. They want to move into the back line, so Logix is on cleanup duty, and he does find him, trading that 1 kill out. But Misfits, they committed a sound barrier for that. Now Cloud9 are just going to play the patient game, just wait it out, wait till it fades away. Now they're going to look for more opportunities, but it's a very aggressive forward hold by Misfits. Again, you can see why they have selected this map against them. And now we're going to see it is Cloud9's time to strike back. Mazaza using that Primal Rage, trying finding opportunities at the back. Zebasai ends up going down. Again, overwhelming damage here for Cloud9, and they're winning the fights out.
That's actually very good for Cloud9. Cloud9 was hoping, or rather Misfits was hoping, to extract a bounty of at least 1 support ultimate from Cloud9. That's why you get into team space like that. You make them use resources. Cloud9, they opened up with the Primal Rage, but they didn't have to invest nearly as much as they might have done normally because they were able to get the early pickups. Now Misfits, they have to reestablish and get through those 2 support ults. Mikey goes straight to the back.
Yeah, sends out the pulse bomb, but he doesn't find the kill he's looking for. But we'll see a last minute switch here. Nevix actually moved over to the Genji. He is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Zebasai as a result of it. But kills are equalized out as Neptuno will fall. He can't get the sound barrier off like he was quite hoping, but still Cloud9 are going to look to see if they can still take this fight forward. Again, equal trades across the board. Mikey A still doing damage into the back as Tvik gets brought down, but Zupe is there and waiting, and Mazaza will be brought down once again. The beat down by Swoosh as he finds another kill for his team.
And this is quite bad for Cloud9. They weren't able to leverage the support ultimate advantage they had, and now Misfits very well could go back to the position of being a little bit more overly aggressive, trying to force the barrier out from Cloud9 early, and they can't open up with the Primal Rage this time, so the pressure is on Neptuno right now to open up with that. However, Bren, Cloud9, they're going to storm the castle. They're taking an alternate approach here to some extent.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to work their way in through the castle. It's a very choke pointy area, but this is the beauty of Eichenwald as a map. You have so many options of attack, essentially, to move in, and they're going to be using that self-destruct pretty early on. Manaton gets another kill onto Mozaza. Cloud9 were looking for an opportunity, but they lose their main tank in the process, and now they are in a dangerous position because Misfits can just double down on this. Tvik brings down Nevix. Only a minute remaining for Cloud9 to push this cart in. It's a very sticky situation indeed.
It could not get stickier, Bren, and the reason is for Cloud9, even if they win every remaining fight right now in second, it's going to go into overtime. They've lost a tremendous amount of time here so far, and should they get through second, should they capture point B, they're not going to have a lot of time left for point C. So Misfits, if they could just win one more fight, Bren, it might not even come to that. They could end it right here, right now.
Cloud9, I imagine they're going to be looking to use Nevix's Dragon Blade here. Mikey sends out the pulse one again, and now we're going to see the Transcendence used by Zupe early on. Cloud9, they can't afford to lose absolutely anyone here. Malzaza ends up using his Primal Rage to stay alive. To Vic using the Tactical Visor, seeing for kills, and now Nevix wants to hunt him down. Goes for one slice, can't quite find it. The entire team is on him. He's caught against the wall right now, drops to the low ground, 2 HP and a dream, but Swoosh will not let him escape. He hunts him down. Mikey A, meanwhile, tries to even it out, brings down Zupe, but now ZP, we're going into the overtime, and Misfits, they want to win this fight out here, and now they want this map in their basket.
And that's why they're committing so hard around the payload. Cloud9, they can't leave the payload for any reason. No more resets for them, but Gray popping off towards the end. Picks off 2. That's the time where you need contribution from the Zen, but it might not be enough. Logix has resumed the fight. Moving forward, Space the last one on. Overtime, ticking down. Malzaza gets back in just in time, but he is gravely outnumbered.
Yeah, he's going to fall almost immediately, and with that, the overtime ticks down. And it will be Misfits taking map number 2, Eichenwald, going their way. And we've got ourselves a series, ZP. The game so far is 1-1 on either side. First map going to Cloud9, of course, Misfits taking this one here. So very much an interesting series. Remember, this is a best of 5 series. This is where it all counts right now in the playoffs, and it's single elimination. If you lose this series, you're going to be going home.
And this was a map that Misfits had to win, right? Where you look at the prep between the two teams, where their strengths and weaknesses are. Misfits was probably more favored on Hybrid than any other map type. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the desk is going to break down the first half.